Hi, friends from around the world. Hi, this is Belisa, and it's been a while. Wanted to check in with you guys in light of what's happened recently, and I wanted to really sit down and ask you to please be aware of your mental state when you're playing chess. Please be aware of the state you're in, because I've said this in a lot of my videos, and especially in one video I was talking about chess as a loss of consciousness. Let's be fair and clear, chess is a wonderful thing, it's a beautiful thing. But if you're treating it as a place to avoid and drown yourself away from and in your problems, then it can quickly become a very toxic environment for your mind. And I know this very personally. So, and I trust that a lot of us go through this. And please try to be aware of how you're using chess and the state of mind you're in while you're playing chess, the emotional state. Are you being frustrated most of the time while playing? Are you happy and enjoying yourself? Are you actually aware of the moves you're making? Or are you trying to make up some elo or to gain a sense of security by hitting some goal? Are you trying to distract yourself? Are you spending a healthy amount of time on it, as in you're able to stop and do other things? Or are you sinking in a lot of time and neglecting other duties in life, neglecting to maybe eat, exercise, sleep, and your health and well-being and your social connections? Or is it basically, what role does chess play in your life, and what state of mind are you in while engaging in it is very important. Because the thing is not the problem. Like a car by itself is not a problem, but used correctly, it's a great tool. Used incorrectly, it's a killing machine. So I wanted to please ask you to sit down and look at yourself, and you're probably already aware of this, but if chess is kind of a problem that we don't want to talk about, trust me, I know this. I think better than most people. But it can be such a toxic environment for your mind. And it's not actually a great way to help you from your problems, with your problems, and help you escape from your problems. Because of the state of it, the dopamine it triggers, it's like a sugary high. The crash is real. And once you're sucked into it, you can't stop. It's gripping. It creates a lot of emotions. It triggers, and the reason why it's so addictive is because it triggers all the emotions of anger, of frustration, and all your latent resentment and frustration at life just bubbles up in the chess as well. And you're not playing chess well. You're hating yourself because the chess sucks, life sucks, everything sucks. You're like, ugh. But it doesn't get better when you play. So please, if you're using chess as an emotional crutch, please find another way to help yourself. And in the past, I would use chess as a crutch, and I still did from time to time, but I'm much better at it now. But what I love to do is yoga, but if you're not a fan of something slow like that, now yoga helped me every single time, so please do check it out if you haven't. Yoga or just breathing, taking a walk. For those who are more active, running or swimming, playing a sport, doing something outside, connecting with the outdoors and nature is actually very important. Getting some sun on our skin and connecting with the air, seeing the world, going for a walk is a great way to just get through anything. And it's very tempting to feel like when we're faced with a problem, we can just lose ourselves in chess, or chess will make it better, but it actually makes it worse. And so whatever bad state of mind you're in will probably be even worsened further aggravated by the also because you won't be able to play well. So I'm sure you guys all know this, but I want to extra highlight this because I think we can be in denial about it. At least I always knew that I had this thing, but I wasn't really, like intervened upon. Like nobody sat me down and intervened, but I would like to help intervene for any of you who may be watching this, and to really tell you, if you haven't, you can watch my Trust as a Loss of Consciousness video where I go more into this. But just to like bring it home here, it's that just be aware of how you're playing this game, because it can very, very terribly, I think, drag you down into a worse state of being. So please find another way of releasing your energy. Just find another habit. It could be a new hobby. It could be instrument. It could be singing on the top of your lungs. It could be, just doing something active and physical. I think is actually great, because you're releasing a lot of tension built up in your body that way. And when you're breathing, and your whole body is creating actually good dopamine that makes you happy. And you can't be so addicted to it because you can't be like, I'm so addicted to running that I just want to run 24/7, because it's not humanly possible. So find something that's good for you in a certain way and not too addictive. And the second thing I want to say is, please also be aware of how you're treating other people, especially online. Because it's so easy to not see people as human beings online, that you're just a name or you're just somebody you don't really know. But everyone is actually human. And, I really regret myself certain things that I said that were insensitive and too rash and uninformed, and that unintentionally it probably aggravated certain people's feelings, and I didn't really know, but I also didn't really care. And just to have increased, I guess, just positivity and support for everybody in this online space, because you don't know. Pretty much, I mean, honestly, the way I see it, almost everybody is having some kind of a mental illness to some degree. Like, unless you're a saint, unless you're very enlightened all the time, pretty much everyone is having some kind of a mental issue. Just to the differences in the degree. And so you never know, right? You never know. And when I first started playing chess online, like many years ago, I was around the 700s or 800s, and then I did this thing where I would type in a smiley face or the emoji of like a wink or like a smirk or a smile, or just a smile. It wasn't that obnoxious, but just a smile when my opponent wouldn't resign or whatever. And then I did this for pretty much all the games, until one guy straight up messaged me and was like, it's just a game. You should be humble, and keep learning. Something to the degree that told me that my behavior was not right. And I'm really grateful to him for that wake-up call, because I guess I was like kind of trolling or whatever, but I also wasn't aware of how it actually really impacts other people, because you don't know. They might be going through a terrible day. They might be struggling on using chess as a way to help themselves. And there's this a-hole who's like rubbing it on your face or making them feel even worse. And so, I mean, yeah, the chat can be so toxic, the whole vibe, because there's so much ego in this game. There's so much ego in all these personalities. And for us to just be aware of that, and to also chuck each other when we see that is going off the rails, is pretty important. Because I'm really grateful that he called me out, because before, if I saw other people doing obnoxious things, I would just try to ignore it or like just block them, and I wouldn't feel the need to actually educate them on this, because I was like, oh my, what if they think I'm too like preachy, or what if, but then no, I'm grateful to him, because he was my teacher. He taught me hey, Belisa, like, that's just arrogant. That's ridiculous and unnecessary, and you don't need to rub it in that you're winning with a smile, and it's also not humble. So, so stuff like that. And I've had discussions with viewers too on this channel that, or sometimes people were like, I'm just being honest, I'm just being truthful, but you have to balance the truth with kindness, and not all the time being truthful is the truth when it's not, when it's cruel. So let's just be first aware of our presence to other people and also to ourselves in this game. And yeah. Yeah, I'm very, very sad about this. I'm very sad. But I know you guys must be all very, very sad too. So, but yeah, I personally, and I know that, I mean, obviously I'm not trying to say everybody should just quit chess and everything, but for me personally, because of that emotional relationship I have with chess that I shared with you guys, I feel like less and less I depend on it for that need. And also because less and less it can serve me and help me in that way. Because of how I found that it can very quickly lead to the opposite results, like very negative and toxic feelings that I don't want to have. So I slowly started playing less and less chess. And to be honest, I've always thought, oh, let's make back our 2000 ELO. And I thought it'd be pretty quick. Or I thought, okay, let's get to a new goal, like 2200, 2400, which I think is actually 2200 at least is very possible. And then, but whatever. I mean, I don't want to, whatever about the ELO. The point is actually that I want to say is ELO doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter. I mean, we spent a whole year, we did that series, let's go to 2000. And I wish, honestly, I gave you guys a really happy, we made it to 2000 video. Honestly, it was really anticlimactic because I feel like my whole energy was kind of off during that video. I wasn't like, ooh, I'm so happy we made it, woohoo, let's celebrate. I was more like, oh man. To be honest, it's because it was kind of depressing. Am I just being too depressing today? My point for saying that is not to try to make you more depressed. It's that these chess goals at the end of the day, I said that I kind of felt like what Ding Liren felt when he had won the world championship, but only a fraction of what he felt. Obviously, it's because why it made me kind of depressed is because it feels empty. It's like, okay, I'm here, but now what? Now, so what? And the only place if you want to keep going is to keep going, and you have to set a new goal. But then it's like, why? And I think people can do it for their own fulfillment, of course, but again, the state of mind you're in is so important, and the priority that it has in your life is so important. If you're chasing this and neglecting so many other things in life, just take a look at that. And I know me saying this is not gonna, like, if you're in someone saying this, it's probably not gonna change your perspective. But at least if I may share my story and my perspective, it's that I very, very personally feel my relationship with chess has been, right, first, like, there's this, I don't know if I can call it love-hate even, but strong like and strong dislike at times, and intermingled with this desire to achieve and to prove myself, or to prove I could do it, not to anybody else, but to myself, as a challenge, as you know, the mountain metaphor of climbing, which is great. But then at the end of the day, when you get there, it's also, okay, let's be real, like, how much satisfaction does this actually give me? And so please please be aware. And yeah, so I'm going to consider some other things in life. I'm sorry, I wasn't meaning to talk so much about myself. But yeah, since I haven't seen a lot of you guys in a long time. So yeah, I'm not going to play chess. And but yeah, life is still really worth living, if I may say. Because I don't want to be so depressing. I'm actually genuinely very, very happy most of the time. And I think that, yeah, I think it's because life, I find that yeah, it's very happy when I feel like I'm actually here to help somebody or to serve some purpose that's greater than myself. And I think the reason why chess was so depressing or frustrating after a while, or when I was playing myself addictively, was because it was kind of just like me sinking in, because it didn't actually serve anybody outside of myself. So yeah, I would say if you want to do something, maybe also consider volunteering. Um, I was gonna say something else in this video. I totally don't remember. uh, oh yeah, I wanted to encourage you guys. I wanted to encourage you guys that, you know, life may seem dark at times. Life may seem really dark, and you might not know. You may feel that you don't have anything. You may feel that you don't have, your friends have left you, the person you love abandoned you, or died, or left, uh, or you don't have anybody around you, or you lost your job, your possessions, everything. You lost your reputation. You're worried about a lot of things going wrong. Actually, at the end of that, nothing really matters. Truly, truly, losing all of that doesn't really matter. And you know, even something as inconsequential as your chess elo, which is seems really frustrating when you just lost a few hundred points, but then it's ultimately like, okay, how does any of this define me in any way? And I have to tell you that you are none of those things that you are attached to and that you give so much importance to. And losing any of that, take it as a lesson. Hey, what is this meant to teach me? It teaches me that I can do without. It teaches me that, okay, I can find strength in this. I can find the silver lining. I can find the courage and strength and positivity to keep going. And I trust that the sun is always there on the other side, even if I can't see it. And so take life's challenges as an opportunity, as a lesson, as a growth challenge. It's there to push you to climb up, to level up yourself. Please don't let it beat you down, and please don't lose yourself and drown yourself in chess to try to forget about life, because life will be there waiting for you, and we gotta level up sooner or later. So in any case, I love you guys. I miss you guys. Take care, please take care. I send you so much love, healing, and light from my side of the world to yours. Yours truly, Belisa. Thank you so much. Bye.